So I just heard your question, right? About why did I make the statements about Miami?
Yes.
Because I played in the NBA during the same time frame. So I know who Miami was and who they are. So when someone says Heat culture, you make a statement and saying LeBron James wouldn't have won a championship without this Pat Riley's Heat culture. And the question was, what Heat culture? What was Heat culture? When Pat Riley got the Heat, 8 years, what did he actually do? 6 years, first round loss, 5 years, first round loss, 2 years, didn't make the playoffs, and he quit and went upstairs. And then he hired Stan Van Gundy. Stan Van Gundy, he brings in Shaq, which is a generational talent. They didn't win because he was bumping heads with Dwayne Wade, right, on who team this was. Even though he says, Dwayne Wade is your team. They didn't win. They brung in Jay Will, they brung in Gary Payton, they brung in Antoine Walker. Now, the problem with the Heat culture is your first team that you really had, they was the wildest team in the NBA. They partied every night. They drunk. They did not listen to that Stan Van Gundy had going on.
What year you talk? What year is this?
This would be 2005, 2006. They partied so much that they built a barbershop and a basketball court inside the strip club because they was there so much. This is a true story. They were so good. If you look at the team, 15 players, 12 of them was NBA lottery picks when they were drafted. So they was the most talented team overall. They won the championship. Where was the Heat culture then? You just let the best players do whatever they wanted to do. There was no discipline. They end up making the first round the following year, end up winning 17 games the next year. Pat Riley ran back upstairs again. Then he hired a rookie coach, Dwayne Wade. What do they do them next years? First round. And then LeBron James comes. A generational talent. So what is the Heat culture if your only championships are when you trade for generational talent? So what you do is this. You take these phenomenons, right? You win, and then you take those rings, and then you slave the players who don't have talent and say, this is our culture. You're not doing that to LeBron James. You're not doing that to Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Shaquille O'Neal. There's no Heat culture there. What you do is when they leave, you say, hey, this is what I have here. You guys shut the fuck up. You do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. And that is the Heat culture. So there's no Heat culture when LeBron James is there. He is the culture. When Shaquille O'Neal was there, he is the culture, and his culture was partying every night.
Okay, Gil, let me ask you. To build a championship culture, it takes years. I think we all agree with that. Because Mark Jackson, he started coaching the Warriors in 2011, and then it was only like in 2015 or something like that they won their first championship. So it takes years. You got draft players and all of that. But what we know is that Miami has they run a very, very tight ship. Pat Riley, I never met Pat Riley. I'm sure you did. I don't know. But Pat Riley, from what I've read and heard people say, is a no-nonsense type of person. He's the one that's at the head of the whatever. I heard when they wanted to fire Eric Spoelstra, he was like, hell no. At other teams, if a star wants a player gone, they're gone. But Pat Riley said, no, Eric Spoelstra got to stay. The thing is, Miami, those guys had already tasted championship glory before LeBron got there. And since LeBron left and D-Wade left, the team is still going to the finals. I mean, with no real talent. So they must have something that they do, right? Even Andre Iguodala said that the Heat have a crazy culture down there, the way they work you out and their food and all of that stuff.
But that's what I'm saying. The Heat culture that's what I'm saying. A culture means whoever comes there, you are abiding by the rules of what's going on, right? That's what a culture is, right? So if I say this culture we have here, or we're vegans, that is our culture. We're vegans, we eat right. And then LeBron James and Chris Bosh comes there and they like, nah, we eat steak and we're going to do whatever we're going to do. And you're like, I bet. Long as we win championships. And then when they win championships and they leave and he say, all right, we're back vegan again. Which one is the culture?
Obviously, LeBron James is, I mean, he's a top 5, in my opinion, top 5 player of all. So obviously, you lose a player like that, you're going to lose a lot. D Wade is injured. Obviously, we know the loss of what LeBron means. I'm just saying that you're the first person I'm hearing say that the Heat don't have a culture, because I've heard so many people, JJ Redick, Andre.
JJ Redick didn't play there. Iguodala played there, but he didn't play there with LeBron James or Shaquille O'Neal. When you think about their championship, when you think about Pat Riley, his greatness, and everybody gives their top 5 players of ever, right? Did you notice he has 3 of them? And those 3 are his championships. He's never won a championship without a generational talent. And those generational talents did whatever they wanted to, which means you do not have culture because you bend it. Pop didn't bend his culture for Tim Duncan. He didn't bend it for Ginobili. If I'm going to cuss this guy out, I'm going to cuss Tim out. You're all under the same umbrella. Right, Phil Jackson, you're all under the same umbrella.
So let me ask you, why do you think then that D Wade told LeBron, you don't want Pat to come down here and coach us then? Why was D Wade saying that to LeBron? Because it sounded like D Wade was saying you don't want the type of regime that this guy is going to be running when he comes down here.
The reason LeBron wanted is because there was who was this coach? Who is this coach? Right? Like no one factors in that every coach LeBron had was not a history coach. He didn't have a Phil Jackson nor Pop. He didn't have greatness. The greatness was him. You're telling me Heat culture is this rookie coach? That's my coach? What the does he know? This wasn't Stan Van Gundy. This wasn't Jeff Van Gundy. This wasn't Scott Skiles. This was a film dude who sat in the back of that was his guy. That was the guy he said, I want you to lead because you've done everything I wanted you to do. That is the person who's supposed to take you to the promised land. Of course, LeBron James is going to question this.
Okay, so my final question.
Where's the reference? Where's the reference for LeBron James was the smartest? He was the smartest coach out of all of his coaches.
My final point, because I got to get up out of here because we've been on here for a minute, but I just want to ask you, do you think D Wade had a role in LeBron winning those championships and helping him develop as a player and a leader? Gil, don't do that to D Wade.
No. Yes, he had he had a factor in, of course, helping win a championship. They all helped win the championship. But this issue is this. This is the issue. You're talking about a guy at the time he made the decision was 25 years old, right? At 25, he won 2 MVPs already. He already took a team to the finals. His team was number 1 in the Eastern Conference when he decided to leave. The accolades as an individual, he was dominating. So when he says, yeah, I might not have had no rings, but my individual, I was going to be great. Where's the lie? He was already great as an individual.
But he wasn't winning. Kobe had the league on lock. He wasn't going to.
It doesn't matter who he's going to be. You're talking about individuals. He's talking about individual, which means scoring titles, MVPs, because all the winning MVP just have to have the best record in the NBA at that point. At that point, when he's talking about individual, so he didn't win no championship. He has 2 MVPs already. When Michael Jordan won his MVPs, he didn't have championships before some of those. It's an individual award. So you're saying he wouldn't be considered a great if he didn't have those Miami championships? He is number 1 in the Eastern Conference. Now, this is the problem that nobody like Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp wants to admit. Do you know how many free agents? Do you know who was a free agent in 2010, 2011?
Key free agents, apart from Chris Bosh and all of these guys, and I think I remember I was allowed.
Okay, here I'll give
these guys, and I don't remember the
I'll give it to you just so you can. So this is the free agents that were free the same time LeBron, right? You got LeBron James the number 1, Dwayne Wade number 2, Chris Bosh, Dirk Nowitzki, Yao Ming, Joe Johnson, Amari Stoudemire, Carlos Boozer, David Lee at the time, Paul Pierce, Rudy Gay, Ray Allen, anybody, Jermaine O'Neal, Drew Gooden, right? Now, if all of these players are free agents and any of these two team up, what happens to the league? So if let's just say D Wade and Joe Johnson team up in Miami, D Wade, Chris Bosh, and Joe Johnson, that kind of hurts LeBron James, right? So when you're a free agent and you're thinking about how I'm going to dominate, you have Amari Stoudemire, Carlos Boozer, and Dwayne Wade. If Carlos Boozer goes with Dirk Nowitzki or Dirk Nowitzki and Yao Ming, you see how powerful this 2010-2011 free agency was, because it was a battle. It was too many superstars was up at the same time for Cleveland to not want to get any of these guys, and that was the problem. Cleveland Cavaliers said they were not going after any free agents.